Ode 29. The Lord is my hope, I shall not be ashamed of him. For according to his praise he made me, and according to his grace even so he gave to me. And according to his mercies he exalted me, and according to his great honor he lifted me up. And he caused me to ascend from the depths of Sheol, and from the mouth of death he drew me. And I humbled my enemies, and he justified me by his grace. For I believed in the Lord's Messiah, and considered that he is the Lord. And he revealed to me his sign, and he led me by his light. And he gave me the scepter of his power, that I might subdue the devices of the people, and humble the power of the mighty. To make war by his word, and to take victory by his power. And the Lord overthrew my enemy by his word, and he became like the dust which a breeze carries off. And I gave praise to the Most High, because he has magnified his servant, and the son of his maidservant. Hallelujah. Ode 30. Fill for yourselves water from the living fountain of the Lord, because it has been opened for you. And come all you thirsty and take a drink, and rest beside the fountain of the Lord. Because it is pleasing and sparkling, and perpetually refreshes the self. For much sweeter is its water than honey, and the honeycomb of bees is not to be compared with it, because it flowed from the lips of the Lord, and it named from the heart of the Lord. And it came boundless and invisible, and until it was set in the middle they knew it not. Blessed are they who have drunk from it, and have refreshed themselves by it. Hallelujah. Ode 31. Chasms vanished before the Lord, and darkness dissipated before his appearance. Error erred and perished on account of him, and contempt received no path, for it was submerged by the truth of the Lord. He opened his mouth and spoke grace and joy, and recited a new chant to his name. Then he lifted his voice towards the Most High, and offered to him those that had become sons through him. And his face was justified, because thus his holy Father had given to him. Come forth, you who have been afflicted, and receive joy. And possess yourselves through grace, and take unto you immortal life. And they condemned me when I stood up, me who had not been condemned. Then they divided my spoil, though nothing was owed them. But I endured and held my peace, and was silent, that I might not be disturbed by them. But I stood undisturbed like a solid rock, which is continuously pounded by columns of waves, and endures. And I bore their bitterness because of humility, that I might redeem my nation, and instruct it. And that I might not nullify the promises to the patriarchs, to whom I was promised for the salvation of their offspring. Hallelujah. Ode 32. To the blessed ones the joy is from their heart, and light from him who dwells in them, and the word of truth who is self-originate, because he has been strengthened by the holy power of the Most High, and he is unshaken for ever and ever. Hallelujah. Ode 33. But again grace was swift, and dismissed the corrupter, and descended upon him to renounce him. And he caused utter destruction before him, and corrupted all his work. And he stood on the peak of a summit, and cried aloud from one end of the earth to the other. Then he drew to him all those who obeyed him, for he did not appear as the evil one. However, the perfect virgin stood, who was preaching, and summoning, and saying, O you sons of men, return, and you their daughters, come. And leave the ways of that corrupter, and approach me. And I will enter into you, and bring you forth from destruction, and make you wise in the ways of truth. Be not corrupted nor perish. Obey me and be saved, for I am proclaiming unto you the grace of God. And through me you will be saved, and become blessed. I am your judge, and they who have put me on shall not be falsely accused, but they shall possess incorruption in the new world. My elect ones have walked with me, and my ways I will make known to them who seek me, and I will promise them my name. Hallelujah. Ode 34. There is no hard way where there is a simple heart, nor barrier for upright thoughts, nor whirlwind in the depth of the enlightened thought. Where one is surrounded on every side by pleasing country, there is nothing divided in him. The likeness of that which is below is that which is above. For everything is from above, and from below there is nothing, but it is believed to be by those in whom there is no understanding. Grace has been revealed for your salvation. Believe and live and be saved. Hallelujah. Ode 35. The gentle showers of the Lord overshadowed me with serenity, and they caused a cloud of peace to rise over my head, that it might guard me at all times. And it became salvation to me. Everyone was disturbed and afraid, and there came from them smoke and judgment. But I was tranquil in the Lord's legion, more than shade was he to me, and more than foundation. And I was carried like a child by its mother, and he gave me milk, the dew of the Lord. And I was enriched by his favor, and rested in his perfection. And I spread out my hands in the ascent of myself, and I directed myself towards the Most High, and I was redeemed towards him. Hallelujah. Ode 36. I rested on the Spirit of the Lord, and she lifted me up to heaven, and caused me to stand on my feet in the Lord's high place, before his perfection and his glory, where I continued glorifying him by the composition of his odes. The Spirit brought me forth before the Lord's face, and because I was the Son of Man, I was named the Light, the Son of God, because I was the most glorified among the glorious ones, and the greatest among the great ones. For according to the greatness of the Most High, so she made me, and according to his newness he renewed me. And he anointed me with his perfection, and I became one of those who are near him. And my mouth was opened like a cloud of dew, and my heart gushed forth like a gusher of righteousness. And my approach was in peace, and I was established in the spirit of providence. Hallelujah. Ode 37. I stretched out my hands towards the Lord, and towards the Most High I raised my voice. And I spoke with the lips of my heart, and he heard me when my voice reached him. His word came towards me, in order to give me the fruits of my labors, and gave me rest by the grace of the Lord. Hallelujah. Ode 38. I went up into the light of truth, as into a chariot, and the truth led me and caused me to come, and caused me to pass over chasms and gulfs, and saved me from cliffs and valleys, and became for me a haven of salvation, and set me on the place of immortal life. And he went with me and caused me to rest, and did not allow me to err, because he was and is the truth. And there was no danger for me because I constantly walked with him, and I did not err in anything because I obeyed him. For error fled from him, and never met him. But truth was proceeding on the upright way, and whatever I did not understand he exhibited to me, all the poisons of error, and pains of death which are considered sweetness. And the corrupting of the corrupter, I saw when the bride who was corrupting was adorned, and the bridegroom who corrupts and is corrupted. And I asked the truth, who are these? And he said to me, this is the deceiver and the error. And they imitate the beloved, and his bride, and they cause the world to err and corrupt it. And they invite many to the wedding feast, and allow them to drink the wine of their intoxication, so they cause them to vomit up their wisdom, and their knowledge, and prepare for them mindlessness. Then they abandon them, and so they stumble about like mad and corrupted men. Since there is no understanding in them, neither do they seek it. But I have been made wise so as not to fall into the hands of the deceivers, and I myself rejoiced because the truth had gone with me. For I was established and lived and was redeemed, and my foundations were laid on account of the Lord's hand, because he has planted me. For he set the root, and watered it, and endowed it, and blessed it, and its fruits will be forever. It penetrated deeply, and sprang up, and spread out, and it was full, and was enlarged. And the Lord alone was glorified, in his planting and in his cultivation, in his care and in the blessing of his lips, in the beautiful planting of his right hand, and in the attainment of his planting, and in the understanding of his mind. Hallelujah.